Hey guys, I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time now. I suspect that in many of my countrymen, many fellow Americans, it will provoke a rather angry response. Whereas, on the other hand, I expect Europeans and indeed people from most other countries, aside from maybe North Korea or something like that, to wonder why such a thing even exists in the first place. And what I'm talking about is the Pledge of Allegiance in the United States. In case you can't tell from the decor or from watching some of my other videos, I'm in Japan right now. Here there's nothing like the Pledge of Allegiance. There is something controversial in a similar sort of way, that being Kimigayo, the Japanese national anthem. Kimigayo wa chiyo ni ya chiyo ni sazare ishi no iwa o tonarite koke no musumade. Now, the controversy over Kimigayo stems from the fact that in Japan's post-war constitution, the emperor is not to be treated as divine. However, the song's lyrics are something along the lines of, may you reign for 1,000 generations, no, 8,000 generations, until pebbles turn into boulders and they are covered with moss. And there was a news story maybe 2 months or so ago where some teacher got in trouble. I think teachers are constitutionally protected against having to sing the song. However, a certain music teacher got some sort of fine imposed on him or something for refusing to play it on the piano, because in that case, playing the piano at school graduation ceremonies and so on is considered part of his job, and so the Supreme Court decided against him. I thought it was pretty lame, but that's the way it goes. In my case, though, I'm not offended in the least by Kimigayo. I sing it at our graduation ceremonies and school entrance ceremonies and so on. Basically, to me, well, first of all, the emperor in Japan is the only thing that keeps the string of national polity going from ancient times to the present. So in that respect, it's kind of interesting. And also, the song has some historical merit. The lyrics date to, I think, the 10th century at the very latest, which makes it, which makes them the oldest lyrics of any national anthem on earth. So I think it's kind of cool. But anyway, back to the topic of the Pledge of Allegiance, which I don't think is pretty cool. In my case, though, it's not because of the under God thing. I guess I should start from the beginning. Basically, I pledge allegiance to the flag. Well, first of all, pledging allegiance to an object, to a symbol, is ridiculous. As George Carlin said, well, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said something along these lines. The flag is a symbol, and I leave symbols to the symbol-minded. Kind of a funny remark there. And then the next part of it is of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, which in that part is explicitly making a loyalty oath to a country. Now, what kind of free country asks its citizens to make a fucking loyalty oath? It just boggles my mind that nobody seems to be asking these questions. Michael Newdow brought his under God thing to the Supreme Court, but he seemed to be just fine with the rest of the pledge. I don't get it. People who call themselves freethinkers, it doesn't bother them that certain people want them to take a loyalty oath toward their fucking country. Anyway, on to the next part. One nation, under God. To me, this part is actually more funny than offensive. A guy named Jeffrey Nunberg, a linguist at UC Berkeley, pointed out that, well, first of all, the origin of that under God insertion, it is the Gettysburg Address. And in the Gettysburg Address, it's used in the sense of, God willing, you know, if our luck is good. Basically, to quote the Gettysburg Address, with ellipses, of course, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom. So, in the 19th century sense of the word, in which it was being used in the Gettysburg Address, sense of the words, rather, it wouldn't even make any sense in the Pledge of Allegiance. One nation, under God, one nation, as long as our luck doesn't run out, is basically the sense of it. So that doesn't bother me as much as the and to the Republic for which it stands part. But anyway, to move on. Indivisible. Well, I believe in states' rights. I believe if they're being screwed by the federal government, they should have the right to secede. So I'm opposed to this as well. With liberty and justice for all. And that's the only part of the Pledge of Allegiance that I don't object to. So, with that in mind, here's my version of the Pledge of Allegiance. I think it's a little bit more concise than Michael Newdow's version. I'll fast forward over the parts that I don't like. I pledge allegiance to liberty and justice for all. I pledge allegiance to liberty and justice for all. Nice, easy to say, not likely to offend anyone.